Amazon's downfall has begun. Hear me out. I've been an Amazon customer for years. I've been a Prime member for at least 10 years now. And the number one reason I had to stay with Amazon was their customer service. However, it's changed now. And I experienced it recently when I tried to put a replacement order for a faulty product. I've always used live chat. I've never needed really to call or get called by them. However, this is the first time I was having issues with the chat service. I'll put the screenshots here. So what happens is that I open a chat. They take ages to reply. They take so long that the chat finishes, saying that, oh, because the conversation has been idle for so long, it thinks that the issue has been resolved. So you can see that. So I started with this guy, and then it went to this other guy, and then I had a third customer service rep taking over the chat. And as you can see, it mentions here as well that I'm like, what's happening? This is the third person I'm talking to. So that's where, I got, I've got the feeling that, this is something is going wrong with their service. Anyway, they sent me a replacement. The replacement wasn't working either. So I ring them this time. It seems like the customer service, the call center is based in India. Anyway, the customer service was so bad. So this guy, he says, okay, I need to find out about this. And I'm like, okay, I've spoken to your colleague. And he said to me that change the cable. I've changed the cable. He said, if it doesn't work, you can return the item. So I'm just calling in to return the item, obviously start the process. He says, I'm going to have to speak with someone. And then he passes me on to someone else without even telling me that he's passing me on. And this person who he passes me on to doesn't even introduce himself and just starts the conversation like I was talking to him. And I'm like, is this someone else now? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, at least tell me that, I've been passed on to someone else. Anyway, then he says, I'm going to have to speak to the leadership team. I'm like, okay, leadership, why do you need to do that? Anyway, he goes to them, puts me on hold, and then comes back and says, we can't return the item. We can only replace it because it's been over 30 days. And I'm like, if that was the case, then I gave you my order number. You knew it was over 30 days old. You could have told me that at the beginning. Why did you have to go to the leadership team or whatever it was? You could have just told me that. So there was no point you making me wait, putting me through different people to tell me that, oh, because it's 30 day, it's been 30 days, we can't return it, we can replace it instead. And I'm like, I don't want a replacement. And I said, you know what, I'm not happy with this service. And he's like, okay, in terms of what I was told by the previous colleague, the one a few days earlier, he said, oh, you were given the wrong information. He didn't give you the right information. So, but I'm giving you the right information. And I'm like,